Hello everyone, today I'm presenting you a short guide what are your priorities as position 5 in the early game. Using all of these helped me get 10K MMR, so if you want to climb, this video is for you. Smoking out of the base is usually a great choice, as long as you have some gold to spend for it. You can place deep wards and make sure enemies don't see you placing them, resulting in vision advantage. It provides movement speed, meaning if you leave your base as soon as possible, you will also see enemies placing wards. It also usually baits your team to BS5, something that is in most cases optimal. If you feel safe to do so, you can check either side of enemy tower by walking into its attack range to see if enemies have placed ops. Vision range of towers in nighttime is lower than attack range, meaning if the tower attacks you at the edge, it has vision from observer ward. Abuse this to deward mid lane. Your main job in the laning stage is to provide your carry a good lane. You can do it in many different ways. I will explain them now, but remember, everything you're doing in the laning stage has to mean your carry has a better game. You want to avoid baiting bad fights or allowing enemies to pressure your carry. Once you get to the lane, your main job should be pressuring enemies so they can't pressure your carry. There are different ways about it. If you're playing range position 5, you can use your spells and attacks on enemy heroes. Don't sit in lane with full mana and HP, you need to use your right click. If your hero wins trades versus enemy support, meaning you know you're stronger, you can focus on him. If your hero is weaker, a better idea would be to pressure enemy core. Generally, you want to force enemy position 3 of creeps, and you can do it by harassing him or kicking enemy position 4 off the lane, resulting in you having 2 versus 1 scenario, where you can collapse on the enemy offlaner. If you're playing melee position 5 like Task, Clock or Treant, you usually cannot just run into enemies harassing them, at least early. In this scenario, abuse tree vision, or rather lack of it. Bait enemies into walking into trees where you're hiding, and once you do, use your spells and attacks to deal a lot of damage. The last thing you want as melee position 5 is to keep running at enemy heroes if they can run away from you. Keep in mind that your hero is effective only if you are close to enemies. That means you want to either start with boots or get them ASAP. In both scenarios, you need resources to constantly fight. Tangos are great against consistent damage, while Salve works against all-in heroes. In each of the laning stage, you want to use at least 2 sets of regen, be that Tango or a Salve, and usually even more. Investing into lane as position 5 is way better than buying expensive items, as your job is to secure the lane first, and for that you will need mana and HP, not a null talisman or a bracer. If you have a nuke that secures range creeps and your carry doesn't, it is optimal for your team to take that last hit. Range creeps are worth a lot of experience, so it is important they don't get denied. Make sure you let your carry know before you do it though. Pull camps are the easiest way to control the lane. For that reason, you want enemy big camp blocked and your small camp to be unblocked. Because of that, you usually want to start with 2 sentries, to not take the risk. If you're placing your sentry to block the camp, try to hide it in a place that makes it harder to be seen, near trees. Keep in mind for most cases, there are sentries that can block one camp and deward the other, so you want to abuse it. If you're on the lane early and you're first placing your sentry, make sure you use it in a way it's not range of potential sentry of enemy that blocks your camp. If you're the second one that blocks enemy camp, you can try to use it closer to your camp, so maybe you deward it as well. If you're playing position 5 for Dire, you should pretty much always place your sentry on this cliff, as it covers entire camp and is pretty much impossible for enemies to destroy. It makes dewarding your camp very easy, so even if enemy blocks it again, they won't fight your sentry. This only works for Dire though. There are different types of pulls in the lane. Full pulls are easy. They are done to farm the camp quickly and delay your own wave by few seconds. The other type is half pull, meaning you get anything between 1 and 3 creeps to go into the camp. These are way more effective in terms of denying your own creeps. If your goal is to deny a creep, the easiest and most efficient way is to pull only the range creep. To do that, you want to pull bit later than usual and make sure only range creep is in aggro range with the pull. It takes some practice, but it's by far the best mechanic you can abuse on position 5, so learn how to do that. It's all about timings, practice and different camps. Pulling is great for lane control, as you can get it closer to your tower and deny some experience. If you're playing the lane 2 versus 2, it's in a good position and you're dominating enemies, you can ignore your camp and continue pressuring. Pulls are only a tool, and in some games you won't even need to use them. Your default is to hit enemies as much as you can and allow your carry to get every possible last hit and deny. On the other hand, in some games you can get very early neutral, so if the lane is stable, feel free to go for that. If you're playing the lane normally, there is a very high chance you will hit level 2 before enemies, meaning you are going to have a power spike. If that's the case, this is the best moment to be aggressive. Each of you have 2 spells and enemies have 1. A lot of supports like Witch Doctor, Undying, Ogre or Lich become really strong once they hit that, so try your best to be in position to attack them. Lotus is your first objective on the lane. Usually whoever gets it is decided by how far the lane is, meaning you can actually push out lane to get Lotus, as in most cases it is worth it. You can do it by attacking creeps, or even doing a full pull at 215. In most cases, Lotus is a great thing to have, so don't forget about it. Try to put yourself in a position to take it or contest it. This will also mean for Lotus fight you might save your spells, if you have any that have bigger cooldown. Things like Tombstone, Poison Touch or Maledict will secure the Lotus fight, or threat of you using it will be enough to take it uncontested. About 5 minutes in, you can start thinking about portal rotations. While in most cases position 4 is the more active one, due to the portal you can get a great angle on enemies, resulting in easy kills. Keep in mind that your lane has to be secured first, meaning if your carry is under a lot of pressure, it is not the best idea to go. But if he's free farming, rotating will also mean he gets more experience, putting him in a better position. Pulling the lane and going through the portal will result in kills and pressure on the enemy tower with the catapult on the enemy safe lane. Just keep in mind that the other position 5 can do the same, so if you can't leave your lane, having ops on portal will secure safety for your carry. At 6 minutes, there are runes spawning on the mid lane. It is really good practice to secure them for your mid laner, or at least deny them from enemy, but again, make sure your carry is safe if you would like to do this. It is more important if there are 2 bottle heroes on the mid lane. Overall, just keep that in mind. If your lane is fine, you can go for it. Otherwise, you can fight for your Lotus or pressure safe lane tower if you went through the portal. The biggest objective you can get early as support is 7-minute Wisdom Shrine. As position 5, if you dominated your lane, the best thing you can do is put yourself in position to contest it at 7 minutes. This includes pulling the lane at 6:15, doing a full pull and killing the camp as soon as possible, or generally pushing the lane so you can go for that. Getting 2 Wisdom Shrines at 7 minutes is absolutely game breaking, but it can be really hard as well. Keep in mind, position of enemy support as well. If he's missing from the lane or he's near your tower at 650, perhaps you can sneak it and take it. And if you did most of that correctly up until this point, congrats, you probably set your team for a good game. If you want to keep improving as support, subscribe to the channel, and keep in mind I offer private coaching sessions if you would like help with your gameplay. Remember to like the video and comment under it, and as always, see you